try to quarter stigmata myself. That's when you go for the stigmata, but in just one hand. I was washing dishes. We don't have a dishwasher, so we have the rack. And I washed all the dishes, and then I turned back, I took my gloves off, and I saw the cat holes on the ground. I was like, you know what, they never get washed. So I went to grab those, but there's a light above that you can't get to when there's stuff in the dish rack. So I reached down to get to it. And another thing I do that's dumb is I put the knives pointy side up, because they dry faster, and they won't smell bad afterwards. And so I went like this, and the knife is sharp, so I didn't feel it when it went into my hand. What I felt was when it hit the bone, and you get that vibration all down your arm, like you hit a funny bone. And I was like, what was that? And then there's a dangly knife, and then I went to the ER. And I'm right-handed, so I should be fine, but I host left-handed. And so that's why it made it awkward tonight. That's all I got. All right, so tonight, at the end of the night, we're going to be closing out with Boys Toys, a fantastic improv trio. There's just going to be 3 people just improving the trio out of the stage. It's going to be delightful. But before that, you're going to get to see some freshly imported stand-up comedy, all the way down from Dallas. Paulos Feerow and Lauren Davis. This is so stupid. How dare you guys? How dare you guys? We'll be out there. Who took the workshops early today? Woo! Fantastic, fantastic. So you'll get to see them work that craft here on the stage right now. So please get your hands clapping, your feet stomping for your first stand-up comedian of the evening, Lauren. Very easy last name to remember, Davis.
This is awkward. There's a mistake. Actually, I'm not supposed to go first. It's okay. We'll fix it. Please welcome to the stage, LA Scripted Comedy Festival. He opened for James Adomian. Give it up for Paulos Feerow.
This is weird because there's like 2 mistakes. We spoke to Kindon like before, so actually, your first comic of the evening was featured on Viceland. Just performed at the Dallas Comedy Festival and opened for greats such as Sashir Zameda. Please give it up for my best friend, the very funny Lauren Davis.
Guys, you're not going to believe it. There has been a 3rd mistake.
No, it hasn't. You're going first. You're going first. Rock, paper,
scissors. That was real. All right. It's so great to be here in Oklahoma City. Not all what I expected. Oklahoma City. It's more drink than I bought. It's great. I just got back from traveling. I went with my boyfriends to Vegas. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm breaking the 1 rule. Talking about it. But we got in a taxi on the way back from the airport, and the taxi driver, he said something I'd never heard before. He said, where are you guys from? And we're like, we're from Dallas. And he said, oh, I love Dallas. So many churches is why. I was like, oh, yes, that's why we like it too. Take us to the library strip club, please. That's where we choose to worship. Who's from the stand-up class? Woo! Thank you guys so much for coming out. Okay, so here's the thing we did not tell you about stand-up in the stand-up class. I feel like I like improvisers more, okay? I'm sorry. I love improvisers. Stand-up the industry too, it's just like, stand-up, it's so fun to do. It's like, stand-up is like a fuckboy, right? Stand-up is like a bad boyfriend you have in your 20s, and then like you start to realize you're like, he's kind of racist. Like, oh, like not so nice to women. Like, I don't like a lot of his friends. In fact, like, I have to spend like 5 hours every night with him, and I only like the 5 that we're doing it. You know, the 5 minutes that we're doing it. That's the part I like. But you know, it is fun, and like, I don't know. I mean, stand-up. I guess maybe I'm bitter. I dated a lot of stand-up comics. You know, and the thing about stand-up comics is they're the same in bed as they are like on stage. You know? They're like weirdly insecure about their performance. They're always like, how am I doing? I'm like, I'm laughing, aren't I? That was your closer. Honestly, it's like I'm dating an improviser and like just such a nicer guy. Like, it's true. I love the one rule, yes, and opposite of my one rule, no buts. One fun thing I like to do, ladies, a little trick is like gather up all the lubes and lotions in the house and like hide them in my car and be like, hey baby, tonight I want to try anal. And watch him tear the house apart trying to find anything to like facilitate that. One time, like I did do this to one boyfriend. I saw like he was in the bathroom like trying to make a lube out of spit and toothpaste. Oh! But make sure you get all the lubes and lotions, like don't leave any behind, otherwise you are effed in the egg. Literally, you are. I've got some big news. I can't believe what I'm saying right here, but I've got some big news. I'm glowing. My body's changing. I started smoking again. Great. Also, I'm pregnant. I still got options, that's why I actually don't know if I can have kids. I got some weird news from my gynecologist. My gynecologist, I went in for a pap smear, and she was like, your cervix is incompetent. Oh. I know, I was like, your shoes are ugly. Like, what are you doing here? So basically, she was like, I was like, what does this mean? And she was like, it means you may never be able to have children. I was like, oh, this is not like as fun as I was hoping this experience would be. I came in for a passport. I didn't even need one. I wanted you to tell me it's pretty, you know? I want to hear I had a pretty one. But apparently she said incompetent cervix means it's like the baby buckets, and an incompetent one is just kind of open, so the baby can just slip out. Fellas. Save you a lot of money on trips to the Bobo clinic. Guys, did you know, I can't tell this joke in Texas. Did you know right now in Texas, it is legal to deputize yourself as like an agent of the state and arrest someone if they're thinking of planning an abortion? So it'll be like, from the audience, like, freeze, Officer Callahan! Like, what do you say about your uterus? Put little handcuffs on both my ovaries. It's crazy state, man. But so I looked it up. I looked up incompetent cervix. And you still can have a baby when you have an incompetent cervix. You just get to be on bed rest the last like 6 months of your pregnancy. It's like, oh my God, my cervix is not incompetent. My cervix is an evil genius. Like, I still have a baby and I get bed rest half the time. Like, my cervix is Ferris Bueller. Like, bow, bow, Yeah, but these are the words we use for like women's reproductive issues. It's so crazy. Do you know what it's called when a woman thinks she's pregnant and she's not? A hysterical pregnancy, because they're so funny. Like, that's so crazy to me to call it that. It's like her belly goes out, like her feet get bigger. Like, it's not crazy to think you're pregnant then. I think it's crazy to not get your period for 9 months and then be like, oh, and poop out a baby on the toilet. Like, I didn't know I was pregnant. That's like hysterical. Like, it's like such a sexist word. Like, you should never even call anyone hysterical. Use hysterical. But it comes from, this is so crazy, it comes from like the Victorian age, like hyster, you know, like is from the uterus, hysterectomy, because they used to think that in the Victorian age, that your uterus, whenever you were acting angry, was traveling up to your brain and putting pressure on it. That's why women were upset. Not because they had 7 kids and 0 orgasms. Like, can't be that. It's that their uterus is putting pressure on their brain. It was like the old-timey version of like, is it that time of the month again? Like, Agatha, is it that time of the month where like that's why you're so aggrieved because your uterus is putting pressure on your brain? She's like, yes, but that's not why I'm mad. Not why. It's crazy. You know what it's called when a woman over 35 gets pregnant? Geriatric pregnancy. Yeah, when you're over 80, you're geriatric. When you're over 35, it's a geriatric pregnancy. I guess because vaginas age in dog years. Yeah. Like, I'm 33, but my vagina is like dead. Is legally dead. We don't use these words for men's stuff though. Like for men's stuff, it's like, oh, you got like a rash all over your feet, a fungus? Oh, it's probably because you're such a good athlete. You got athlete's foot. Oh, your taint is itchy? Because you're a jock. You got jock itch. Like, if we use the same words, like if women had like erectile dysfunction, it would be called like, you got a big dumb dick, you know, like that's what they would call it for women. It's not fair. Not cool. It's so hard to be a girl. It's so hard. It's so hard in the summer too. You know, there's so much dick. There's just dick flying at you all the time. Am I right? It's like the birds, but with dicks. They're just like a bird. Get out of here. You run out of your house like, shoo, I have vaginal teeth. I write for a feminist blog. Shoo. You know, what do I do? Like run into a phone booth and a dick like slams into it and slides down. Like run home. You think you're safe. And you hear it. They're coming. It's too much. It's hard. It's hard to be a girl. It's hard to be a girl. Hard to be broke too. I'm a broke girl. I'm one of the 2 broke girls in the titular sitcom. I'm not. Then I would not be broke. That very racist sitcom made a lot of money. But no, Rich didn't go anywhere. That's okay. But yeah, like I was so broke during pandemic, I almost did figure modeling. You guys know what that is? You know? Have you ever done it? No, yeah. It's it's like nude modeling but for portraits. So no shame in it. But they called me. The weird part was they called me and they were like, we got to do a phone interview. Like, what are we gonna do in this phone? And like, what are you gonna? Oh, well, my greatest strength is I'm willing to do this. Like, greatest weakness, same thing. But they were like, all right, so you know that it's like $20 an hour. I was like, okay. All right, you'll be completely naked. Okay. Like, and it's in Oklahoma City. I was like, I can't make it. I can't do it. Can't do it. Little too far. I gonna get out on this. I had one of those weird days where you go in the store and you totally forget what you went in there for. I was like, those wings are good. I want wings. I was like, if I'm gonna get wings, then like, Mom wants a 40. You know. Like, oh, 2 40s, make it an 80. And then I walked out and I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot the pregnancy test. What? You guys weren't into that. I don't know, what else do I want to do? You guys drinking? Drinking tonight? Yeah, drinking. I love drinking. Drinking's cool. I used to drink too much. I went to AA. That's where I found out, like, I just don't fit in there. It was like everyone there was like, I lost my wife, I lost my keys, I lost my job because of drinking. I'm like, I lost my lunch sometimes, you know. But the thing about AA is they kind of trick you when you come in. They're like, all right, so here's how you know if you're like a real alcoholic. Answer this question. Are you a real alcoholic? They're like, no, I don't think I am. They're like, that's how you know. That's what all the real alcoholics say. It's like, okay. Then let me change my answer to, because I don't think I am, to yes, I am an alcoholic. They're like, that's step 1, and now you're in the program. Like, oh my God, I'm feeling pretty powerless right now. They're like, that's step 2. I was like, God help me. They're like, that's step 3, and now you are chapter president. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right, you guys ready for your next comic? You guys have been so fun. He is all the stuff I said about him earlier, and my best friend. Give it up for Paulos Feerow!
Keep it going for Lord, everybody! Keep it going. That's right, my name is Paulos. You guys heard that right. It's like Paul with an OS at the end. People still find ways to mess that up. I get called everything from like palace, to Paulos, to go back to your own country. Just stuff that rhymes with Paulos. You know? Stuff that rhymes with Paulos. It hurts when like strangers mess up my name, but it's equally worse when like my own family messes up my name. Like I have a 7-year-old nephew, and he likes to call me Uncle Poyo. Because that was not going to college. We've made peace with that. Okay, he's gonna get a good, strong job like plumber. I don't know, something. Future plumber. Let's say that. I have a 5-year-old niece, and she likes to call me, and I don't want to mess this up because I don't want to piss her off. She calls me coward, and just makes direct eye contact with me because that one's going places, guys. That one could be the president of Shooters. I love them both. I love them both equally, right? But I love them separately. I should clarify, like, when they get together, they love to play this game where they just run at full speed towards each other, and then they make contact, right? And then laugh like 2 small sociopaths. Right? And then I gotta be the adult in the situation all of a sudden. I'm like, hey, cut that out. I don't know where you guys learned this from, but you're interrupting wrestling. Because I take my responsibility seriously. I don't have any kids, that's why I don't. I actually do have some big news though, you guys. I recently gave up cocaine. Thank you, I'm not a hero. Thank you. Thank you. No, my friends did that thing that friends do. They sat me down and they were like, hey, Paulos, it's your turn to buy the cocaine. And now I'm drug-free, guys. I am free from addiction. Lauren was talking about, earlier, she was like, talking about the nude modeling job that she done. She was like, oh man, they want me to go to Oklahoma. And I was like, I think I know somebody in Oklahoma that has great cocaine. And we can make a weekend out of it, which is why we're here. So I apologize to the people that were in our class earlier. We just had a weekend plan. You guys just happened to be a part of it. Threw that one together last minute. No. I went to jail last year for 2 weeks. I went to jail. This is a true story. I went to jail during a global pandemic. Not because of the cocaine. I went to jail for I went to jail for parking tickets from 6 years ago. And they were like, oh man, we've never got this guy. I bet he's at home right now. Everybody's at home right now. And here's the weird thing is I paid a lawyer to take care of those tickets for me. And he was like, yeah, just send me the money and I'll take care of it. And he did not. So I got picked up and I sat in jail for I was there for maybe an hour before this really big dude just was like, hey, you might want to put on some shoes unless you want to get stabbed. So I put on some shoes. I walked away from it and I put on some shoes and I was like, now I got to befriend this big man because that's how you do it in jail. So I went and I was like, man, isn't it crazy how we stab people who don't wear shoes? And he's like, yeah, that would be crazy. Except I said put on some shoes or else you might get stabbed. Like the infection. I was like, oh, you were just being helpful. Okay. I think television has messed up our heads about what jail is and what it is not. It's a lot of things, you guys, but it's not just random violence all the time. I'll give you an example of one of the weird things. There was a guy in my pod, right? And tattooed on his face was white power. Hold on. Best rapper in our pod. Hands down, the man. The man had bars, you guys. Who am I to argue with what God had gifted him with? I don't know where he picked it up or why he kept at it, but he was really good at this, is what I'm saying. And I would find myself, because you have to just waste time when you're in jail. I was making my bed 10 times a day, just looking for something to do. And he'd start rapping, and I'd just kind of get into it. And I was like, oh, you can't do that. You can't get down to Little Nazi. That's kind of weird. Don't do that. And my bunkmate was like, man, if it bothers you that much, then you just got to go battle him and beat him. And I was like, fuck no. What? You insane? What? You want me to go battle this guy and potentially lose? No, I'm good. I'm not gonna take that at all. How can I go home and look at my family after that? No, I'm good. Oh, we'll throw that one away. Thank you, guys. Oh man. I do marketing for a tobacco company, and they send me all over Dallas, where I live. Dallas proper and just all the suburbs around it. And they recently sent me to a place called, get this, White Settlement, Texas, because that makes sense. That makes a lot. To be fair, here's the thing about White Settlement, Texas, you guys. It's exactly what you think it is. And I was there for all of 5 minutes before a lady walked in, and she was wearing one of those shirts that revealed her side breast, right? It's not the joke. That's not the joke. On her side breast was a tattoo of a swastika, and I was like, who's that for? What is happening here? And it just got worse because not far behind her were these two toddlers, and I was like, oh, I'm like, not too long ago, those toddlers were suckling from that hateful ass titty. That was recently, right? So I started doing the math, and I was thinking ahead. I was like, those kids will go to college someday, right? And they're gonna, go from one class to another, and then a Nazi rally is gonna be happening because college, you guys. And like they're gonna see like a sandwich board with a swastika on it, and one of those kids is just gonna like think, man, I'm hungry. And they're not gonna know why. They're not gonna understand why they have that instinct, but I'm gonna know why. So I've created a GoFundMe, and basically it helps fund me following this kid for the rest of his life. Just to wait until he picks up on that realization. I'm like, let me tell you a story. It's fun times. Not all about moms, though, you guys. Sometimes it's about dads. I had an elementary school gym teacher, and he told me one day, he was like, hey, Paulos, if you can climb up this rope and touch this bell, I'll take you out for Taco Bell afterward. And I looked him in the eyes, like, pretty sure that Taco Bell's the reason I can't touch this goddamn bell. And I don't know what kind of mom and pop operation this is. I don't want any parts of it, because that's how I talked when I was in elementary school. And I bet some of you are wondering, like, hey, was your dad, your elementary school gym teacher? No, he didn't want to ruin a bunch of kids' lives, right? He just wanted to ruin one in particular. Because you don't understand, like, to be an elementary school gym teacher in Dallas, Texas, anyway, you don't have to have, like, one of those fancy college papers. I think they call them degrees, right? Like, you just have to be the dad that's willing to fight another dad at a Little League game. My dad had that energy, but he just never gave it to anybody else. But me, is what I'm saying. Was that a tuba that played? It sounded like, sad music, there's a sad clown on the stage. It's not all about dads, though, you guys. Sometimes it's about moms again. I recently went out to Los Angeles, California, as we're calling in the biz, Hollywood, you know what I'm talking about. I just always point at the front person, I don't know, that's not part of the joke, it's just fun for me. But no, I was doing a comedy contest out there, and the good news was I made it to the finals of the contest. All right, well, calm down, because in the finals, I lost to a guy that just talked about his mom dying for 5 minutes. Yeah, it was hilarious. It was great. He deserved it. But like the worst part was I made it back to Dallas the next day, and I found out that my mom had gout. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I was like, hey mom, where are you with that information 24 hours ago? Like, I could have won a comedy contest. Being super selfish all of a sudden. Some of you are pulling back because you're good people like us. I don't know. I get it though, I get it. Here's the thing though, I tell my family about all the jokes that I write about them. It's a funny story. I was telling my mom about this joke the other day, and she interrupted me to say, actually it's osteoporosis, to which I responded, it's not about you right now, Mom! I love that woman in her failing body. No, I love her. She's like the best person that I know. My mom is my favorite person. Like I found out recently that she's been giving a televangelist $100 a week, right? And I was like, no, Mom, it's not the 80s. What are you doing, right? And then she like stopped me before I can get too judgmental. She was like, listen, Paulos, I give him $100 a week. In exchange, he gives me prayer beads. With these prayer beads, I pray for you. And like on the one hand, that's like one of the sweetest things that anybody's ever told me, right? Like, but on the other hand, like this cell phone's not gonna pay for itself. I get it. You love me. Is this cutting into my allowance? I need to know. I feel like some of you guys didn't catch the nuance of that joke. I can tell you the title of it is I Live With My Mom. All right, is that helping? No, I love my mom. She actually, I was telling her about this joke the other day too, and she interrupted me in the middle to say, hey Paulos, you want to eat your biscotti like a big boy today? You want me to chop it up for you? I said, Mom! Talking to my I live in Dallas, Texas, and we have a transit system, like a train and bus system, called the DART. And if you've ever been to Dallas, or if you decide to go to Dallas, get on the DART. It's the best people watching, hands down, right? Like, actually, if you leave here tonight, you can still make it in time in Dallas too, right? Actually, you know what? Some of you, no, don't do that. Don't. Wait till the morning. Wait until the morning and catch the DART. It is fun times. I remember I was catching the DART recently, and this foursome was walking my way. It's this beautiful black couple, this beautiful white couple, and I was like, man, look at that. That's the face of Paulos, everybody. But as they got closer, I checked my own ignorance. I was like, hey, you know, maybe that black guy is dating that white lady. And maybe that white guy is dating that black lady. And I was like, oh, that's even more progressive. Right? But as they got closer, it became very clear, right, that black guy was dating that white guy. And that white lady was definitely dating that black lady. And I was like, oh, that's even more beautiful. Right? So I did what any of us in this room would do. I just like jetted right towards them. Just full speed sprint. Right? Wanted to be the first person that they saw when they got to the platform. But as I got close, the black lady was like, whoa, 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 we don't have any change. And the white guy said, oh, honey, I don't think he speaks English. So progress. OKC Improv, you guys are beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys have been a great audience. You guys were fun earlier. Thank you so much for letting us hang out with you guys. And let's bring your host back on the stage. Thank you again.
Keep it going! And Lauren, thank them so much for coming out. Weren't they hysterical? It was fantastic. I enjoyed most of that. I just want to keep referencing both her acts.